I would like to very cordially welcome you all to this very special occasion. And if I may say so, for the head of a German mission abroad, it is one of the nicest duties to bestow an Order of Merit to a citizen of the host country. Today, it's a great honor and pleasure to bestow on you, Prasad Chandran, the Cross of the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany, on behalf of the Federal President. But there's no free lunch. I cannot spare you some of the details of your life, your career, your achievements, although of course I know that you and probably all of us know about this very well. You spent your student years in Bombay here for a diploma in chemistry, and then went to Chandigarh for an MBA. You also had additional management training in many places around the globe, but not yet Germany. And your connection with Germany started with BASF, as far as I'm informed, long time ago, because this company, and this can be seen also through many of the guests here, has been at the center of your career, your professional life. 14 decisive years between 2000 and 2013, almost 14 years. You were at the helm of BASF India, after many other positions in the company, and responsible for the whole of Southeast Asia also. And you are also on the board of other companies, Germans and others, and that is also why we had to find a good timing today for the ceremony, because there is a board meeting, there has been a board meeting of HFTC Live. During your time as the CEO of BASF India, as far as I'm informed, the share value went up by 560%. Now, I don't want to play with numbers, but when you look at BASF AG in Germany, it was 194%. The main point tonight, why are we honoring you with the Order of Merit today? You jokingly said, I'm interested in that part because I don't know.
Because I don't know actually.
That's typical for him, isn't it? So I will tell you, we don't give it to you because of your work for BASF. You have been, I hope so, well paid for that. And also, we do not give it to you for being a dedicated Indian citizen. That's not our task, and I'm sure that others will give you the recognition for that. We are honoring you today for your outstanding contribution to Indo-German relations. You have always been a very good friend of Germany. You have always shown great interest in my country and its economy, in its society, in its work ethics, many more aspects. And you have always been a very knowledgeable and keen advisor to me, to my predecessors, to all the ambassadors during your time at BASF, to the Chamber of Commerce, to many more. And by the way, I just flew back from Delhi last night when we had a meeting with the other consul generals and the ambassador. Warm greetings and congratulations from Dr. Martin Nai upon the bestowal. From my first week or so, you have helped to explain to me, for instance, how Indian business and society works. I remember there was a very initial meeting, somebody came and I didn't know anything about India, and a few people followed the invitation and helped me doing my job. So that is typical. You have encouraged us, you have introduced us to the right people, you have given us the best advice. So one can ask the question how German companies could work in India without people like you. And India is such an immensely complex country that we need friends like you to work here, to understand it and to work for our mutual interest and our business. Whenever high-level delegations came and briefings were necessary, you were there, you responded to the call. Of course, I have to mention the Indo-German Training Center also. That is an institution I hope almost everybody knows here, but you were one of the souls behind this. You not only did your utmost to make it a center of excellence for the companies, for the German corporates, but also you had this special focus on the business ethics. He told me he was sometimes wondering why an Indian was talking so much about the fight against corruption. And he was happy. As the representative of Germany here, I would like to point out that for us, it is beyond BASF. You have set an example for compliance for the whole German corporate world, and you have contributed a lot with that to the image of German corporates here in India. Much beyond the IGTC, you also played a prominent role in the chamber, and you still play a prominent role in the chamber. You have been member of the board, I think some 15 years now, the committee, 15 years. You have been vice president, at the time when the Golden Jubilee was celebrated. And now that we are in the 60th year of the chamber and started celebrating last week, you are still on the board. And you're not just on the board, but at the forefront, one of the most active members. And again, without people like you, the chamber would not be today the biggest German chamber, bilateral chamber worldwide, and one of the most important as well. Without people like you, I may say Germany would not have a presence of 1,800 companies in India. Germany would not have surpassed Britain as the destination for Indian students abroad, without examples set by people like you. And so on, to the benefit of our two countries. My feeling after some years in India is only a few, unfortunately. Each of us needs good friends everywhere, but in a country like India, where the social contacts are not only nice, but are indispensable for business, maybe more than in some other countries around the globe, a reliable personal friend like you is even more important. So, dear Prasad Chandran, I would like to thank you for all you did for my country and for the relations between India and Germany, and for being that very good and reliable friend. I hope this answer didn't surprise you, and I'm sure it suffices for giving you the Order of Merit.
So many things I did.
So today we are awarding you the Order of Merit in honor of your deepening the ties between our two countries, and especially the business relations between India and Germany. So let me congratulate you on this occasion first, and sincerely thank you. So that's it. So on behalf of Federal President Joachim Gauck, I bestow the Cross of the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany upon you. And of course you get something written, because this one you can lose, but when you have the proof, you will get a replacement.
That's the German system.
I just saw we made a mistake. We haven't translated this official document to you. That will be done, and we will send it to you. But there is nothing special than anything you would have waited for to be on such a formal document. It is signed by Federal President Joachim Gauck personally, and it proves that you have got this honor. There's another thing which is very German, by the way, a special little leaflet telling you how to wear it. Very German, isn't it?
Come. Rene, come.
Yeah.
But this you also have to translate, no?
Yes, we will translate that, of course.
Where's Sabina?
Yeah.
Please go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Dr. Gabriela Siebert, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I didn't know there's such a long list that is coming up. And matter of fact, I'm really surprised and thankful to the Federal Republic of Germany and the Consul General, because this is one reward and one recognition that I've got without sending any application, any kind of information. This is the first time you get something where he has never asked me for my biodata or any information from me, and I was wondering what is he going to say, and that was why I asked him in the evening, what is it that you're giving this award for? But in all humility and with great appreciation, I accept this award. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at Germany and India, in these what is known as VUCA times, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, India and Germany become natural partners. Those of you who know that we have in Germany a project started in 2010, between 2015 and 2020, Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 will take digitalization to a completely different level. Germany is the world's largest exporter, and the innovation in manufacturing capital, I repeat, in manufacturing. Not many people have the capacity or the patience to look at manufacturing into the future. And Industry 4.0 is bringing in the level of digitalization where fixed costs and overheads will the concept of fixed costs will completely change, because customization will make sure that Germany remains ahead by way of innovation. And look at India, the youngest nation with 65% of the people below the age of 35. Currently at number three, but I'm very confident into the next decade, we will become the number one in startups, number one in entrepreneurship, and number one in terms of opportunities. This makes the two countries into the next decade extremely cohabitable. Being a chemistry student, I always like to say, and BSF, coming from BSF, that we have a covalent bond. It's something you give and take. It's a covalent bond. It's not one direction. And as a democracy, as India is the largest growing democracy, stands a unique opportunity for collaborations. We should also look at this from a point of view of what could happen over the next 10 years. I'm very confident that in the next 10 years, the world economy would change in such a manner, bringing our two countries even closer. I'm not talking about the big giants, the Siemens, BASF, Bosch, Deutsche Bank. We are all deep-rooted in India. Of course, there are troubles, ups and downs, but by and large, these big companies know how to handle, they will be successful in India. But what for me is a focus is the Mittelstand. What I call in Germany is the small and medium scale, but in Indian terms, they are pretty large. You will have companies with 500 million euro to €1 billion sales run by 5, 7, 10 people. So that's the high technology. And I see for us a future of Mittelstand companies with very high level of entrepreneurship and very good ethical Indians. Of course, when it comes to India, is the ease of doing business. Or you turn it around, the difficulties of doing business. It's not an easy country to do. There is bureaucracy, there is red tape, there is tremendous amount of difficulties, and of course there is corruption at all levels. But the advantage for Germany and India is that both these countries are for the long term. And in India, I can vouch there are very, very good companies, very many entrepreneurs who are honest, ethical, and who live by the standards set by their forefathers. And there are Indian companies. Deepak Parekh is here, who's taken HDFC to such heights. We were just saying that there are no more heights to which HDFC can be taken. Because now we have to change the standards of HDFC. Because we have to change the heights to which it reaches. And it's not an exception. We've got Mahindra and Mahindra, we've got the House of Tata, I'm talking the large ones. And there are a number of young entrepreneurs who want to live life on very ethical grounds. But corruption is a problem. And all of us have to do our bit, not to sit by the side and complain. I always lived in circuits. So many times I come to this house, I find a lot of our friends who come, in the evening when we're having drinks, we blame everybody. We talk about all the problems of corruption, and as soon as we reach the offices, we got to reach the next quarter. You don't care what happens. Come on. You call your CFO and says, I don't care what happens. You made all the big lectures, but when you are pressurized for the quarterly and the monthly and the half yearly, you forget what you have said. I think it's up to each one of us. It's for us to follow what we say. And to my mind, corruption can only be handled by those of us who have the power to handle it. So that the collaborative corruption is what we can tackle at the first level. And I'm very confident we will be able to do it. And that's why I started this with Million Minds in BSF. I got Sunita and Lakshmi who were there with me when we started off this project as Million Minds. Where's Sunita? She always hides behind. Sunita has come all the way from Germany for this function. I'm on her own. She just come for the weekend to attend this function because she and me go a long way in terms of setting this up in 2002 when we talked about corruption, what we could do much before the difficulties that we face. So ladies and gentlemen, I started a social organization called Seagulls in Bangalore. And I truly believe that if each one of us at least took baby steps, we will be able to do what others can't do. And to conclude, as I said, Michael told me that when he first came to Bombay and we had our lunch at the BKC, I told him that you'll hear a lot of stories. And in India, every story that you hear, the opposite is also true. So don't believe anybody who tells you that India is bad, because India is very good. If they told you that India is corrupt, India is also not corrupt. If they told you that Indians are lazy, Indians are very hardworking. And you'll realize with one
Nobody tells that Indians are lazy.
But I can tell you, because with 1.2 billion people, we will always get it right. We will always get it right. And I'm confident going to the next decade, Germany and India will set the standards of sustainability, of sustainable growth, where the economy, the ecology, and society will be in harmony. So accepting this award, I thank you, I thank the federal government of Germany, and I thank everybody. And just to let you know, he said whether I will continue to do this. Yes, I have, in my second innings, I have more time, and therefore I'll continue to do it. Thank you.